What if everything you've been told about staying strong after 50 is quietly working against you? What if one of the most recommended, most trusted exercises is actually creating more problems than it solves for your body? Imagine this. You're doing all the right things. You're staying active, you're trying to move, you're following the common advice to squat, to lunge, to build leg strength. Yet you feel a nagging stiffness in one hip. You notice one knee protests a bit more going downstairs. Your lower back tightens up after a walk. You might brush it off as just age, as inevitable wear and tear, but what if it wasn't? What if that discomfort, that imbalance, was being silently fueled by the very exercise you believed was your foundation for strength? Today, we're going to unravel a fitness myth that has persisted for decades. We're going to expose why a classic move, often hailed as a full-body powerhouse, can become a source of compensation and weakness for adults over 50. And more importantly, we're going to reveal the gentle, overlooked, and profoundly effective solution that isn't about working harder, but about working smarter. This isn't about abandoning strength. It's about building it in a way that respects the body you have now, not the body you had 30 years ago. This is about moving from imbalance to stability, from compensation to confidence. And it all starts with a simple, uncomfortable truth about how we've been told to move. For generations, the squat has been crowned the king of exercises. It's praised by trainers, featured in every fitness magazine, and recommended as a non-negotiable for building strength, preserving mobility, and supporting independence as we age. The logic seems sound. It's a functional movement. We squat to sit down and stand up. It works multiple muscle groups. It's efficient. On the surface, it seems like the perfect prescription. But here is the critical flaw, the detail that changes everything. The squat is a movement of compensation. It is a movement that allows and even encourages the body to take shortcuts. And after 50, those shortcuts have consequences. When you perform a squat, your brain's primary goal is to complete the movement. It will use the most efficient, least resistant pathway to get you up and down. It will recruit the muscles that are strongest, most familiar, and most ready to fire. For many, many adults, that is not the gluteal muscles, the powerful engine of the hips. Instead, it is the thighs. It is the lower back. It is the stronger side of the body. So, you go through the motion. You feel the burn in your legs. You feel your heart rate rise. You believe you are building foundational strength, but underneath the surface, a quiet imbalance is growing. The side that is already a little stronger does more of the work. The glute that is already a little sleepy remains asleep. The hip that is tighter doesn't learn to open, it just gets bypassed. You are not correcting weakness, you are engraving compensation into your movement patterns, you are practicing imbalance, and over weeks, months, years, this practiced imbalance manifests. It shows up as that one hip that always feels tight, that one knee that grinds, that lower back that aches after standing, a subtle list in your posture, a feeling of unsteadiness on uneven ground. This isn't mere aging. This is the direct result of a strength strategy that has failed to address the individual, asymmetrical reality of the human body, especially a body that has lived for over 5 decades. The science is catching up to this reality. Research is beginning to illuminate what many have felt in their own bodies, that global movements, without first addressing local weaknesses, can lead to problems. Imagine a study following over 1,000 adults past the age of 55. One group focuses on traditional standing exercises like squats. Another group uses modified, targeted, seated exercises that isolate specific muscles. The results are telling. The group using the traditional approach reports significantly more joint discomfort. The seated group, however, shows measurable improvements in muscle balance and stability. Why? Because they are not just moving, they are communicating. They are having a deliberate conversation with the muscles that have gone silent. They are not allowing the loud, dominant muscles to shout over the quiet, weaker ones. This is the paradigm shift. After 50, the goal of exercise must evolve. It is no longer just about burning calories or getting a sweat on. It is about neural retraining. It is about reestablishing connections. It is about finding the lost signals between your brain and your muscles and amplifying them. This is precision work. It is gentle work. And it is the most powerful work you can do for your long-term mobility and independence. Let's talk about the heart of the matter, your glutes. These are not just aesthetic muscles, they are the cornerstone of your movement architecture. Think of your pelvis as a sturdy bowl of water. Your gluteal muscles, particularly the side muscle, the gluteus medius, are the hands that hold that bowl level. When those hands are strong and even, the bowl stays steady, the water doesn't spill, your spine stacks neatly on top, your knees track forward without strain, your walk is smooth and efficient. Now imagine one of those hands gets weak, lazy, or forgets its job. What happens? The bowl tilts. The water spills to one side. To compensate, your spine must bend, your knee must twist, your opposite hip must hike. The entire structure is now under stress. Every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, you are moving through a compromised, unstable structure. This is what happens with gluteal imbalance. And what causes this imbalance? Life. Decades of sitting where the glutes are switched off. An old ankle sprain that changed your gait. A knee surgery that led to favoring one side. Even something as simple as always carrying a bag on the same shoulder or starting a movement with the same leg. The brain learns these patterns, and the weaker glute is gradually removed from the team. It's not injured, it's just forgotten. And when you then perform compound movements like squats, the brain doesn't suddenly remember the forgotten player. It just asks the star players, the thighs, the back, the strong glute, to work even harder. The imbalance isn't fixed, it's fortified. This is why we must start from a different place. Not from a place of momentum, but from a place of isolation. Not from a place of effort, but from a place of awareness. The following movements are not about intensity, they are about intention. They are so simple, so gentle, that they are often dismissed as irrelevant, as mere rehab. But that is their superpower. They allow you to bypass the body's clever compensation strategies and speak directly to the source of the weakness. You will need no equipment to start, just a sturdy chair and your attention. The first movement is about awakening the sentinel, the side glute that holds the bowl level. Sit tall on a chair. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Now place your hands on the outside of your knees. Press your knees outward into your hands, while your hands provide equal resistance, pushing inward. Do not let your upper body sway. Do not lift your feet. All you are doing is pressing your knees outward against the resistance of your own hands. Feel for a contraction on the side of your hips. It may be faint at first, a mere whisper. That's okay. You are listening for a signal that has been quiet for a long time. Hold that gentle press for 3 seconds, then slowly release. Repeat this 10 times. The goal is not fatigue. The goal is connection. Can you feel one side working more than the other? That is the information you need. That feeling of difference is the map of your imbalance. This simple action, this seated resistance, activates the gluteus medius in a way a squat never will, because the squat allows your thighs to dominate. This movement forces the side hip to engage. It says, you are needed. Wake up. Practice this daily. It is a conversation. You are reintroducing yourself to a crucial part of your body. The second movement builds on the first. It teaches the glutes their primary power function, hip extension. This is the action of moving from a seated to a standing position, of walking up a hill, of pushing off with each step. We will practice this in a way that removes all danger to the spine and knees. Sit on a stable chair or bench. Slide forward so that your upper back, just below your shoulder blades, is supported by the back of the chair. Your feet should be flat on the floor, about hip width apart, knees bent at a right angle. Now tuck your chin slightly, look straight ahead, and press your heels firmly into the ground. Squeeze your glutes, both of them, and lift your hips upward. Your body will rise, your back will peel away from the chair. Lift until your body forms a straight diagonal line from your shoulders to your knees. At the top, pause for a moment. Feel the squeeze in your glutes. Your thighs will be working, yes, but your focus is on the back of your hips. This is the gluteus maximus turning on. Then, with control, lower yourself back down. The movement is slow, deliberate. You are not bouncing. You are not using momentum. You are telling your glutes, this is your job. You lift this body. Do this 10 times. Feel the difference between the left and right cheek. Does one fire earlier? Does one feel stronger? This is not a race. It is an exploration. You are learning about the current state of your engine. This seated bridge is a masterful teacher. It isolates the hip extension movement pattern without loading the spine in a compromised position and without asking the knees to bear the full burden. It is a pure lesson in glute engagement. Now we arrive at the most critical, the most revealing, and the most corrective of all the movements. This is the exercise that exposes the truth of your imbalance and begins to correct it. It is the single leg glute bridge. Lie on your back on the floor. Bend both knees, feet flat. Extend one leg straight out, or keep a slight bend in the knee if that is more comfortable for your back. Your other foot remains flat on the ground. This is your working side. Place your arms by your sides. Before you move, check your hips. Are they level? Now, drive through the heel of the foot that is on the ground. Squeeze the glute of that same side and lift your hips toward the ceiling. Your body will rise. The leg that is in the air will rise with you. Focus everything on the glute of the supporting leg. Lift until your body is in a straight line from shoulders to knee. Hold for a second. Squeeze. Then, with supreme control, lower yourself down. You will immediately notice everything. You will notice if one side shakes uncontrollably. You will notice if one side struggles to lift as high. You will notice if your hamstring cramps. a sign it is doing too much work because the glute is still sleeping. You will notice if your back arches, a sign of core disengagement. This exercise is a mirror. It shows you, with brutal honesty, which side of your body is carrying the team and which side is riding the bench. Start with just 5 repetitions on each side. The quality of the movement is everything. It is not about how many you can do, it is about how perfectly you can connect. If one side is drastically weaker, start your session with that side. Give it extra attention. Do your 5 reps on the weak side first, then 5 on the strong side, then return to the weak side for 2 more. You are not just building muscle, you are rebuilding neural pathways. You are teaching the brain to recognize and recruit the weaker teammate. This single leg bridge is the great equalizer. It removes all possibility for the strong side to help. It forces the weaker glute to show up, to participate, to remember its purpose. Consistency with this movement can realign pelvis, soothe achy knees caused by poor tracking, and unlock a smoother, more powerful gait. It is, without exaggeration, a life-changing practice for anyone struggling with asymmetry and its resulting pains. This journey is not about demonizing the squat or any other exercise. It is about preparation. It is about laying a foundation of balanced individual strength so that when you do perform more complex movements, whether it's squatting to garden, lunging to pick up a grandchild, or simply walking on a trail, your body operates as a complete integrated system. You are no longer moving from a place of compensation, but from a place of coordination. The dull aches, the persistent tightness, the sense of instability, these are not life sentences. They are signals. They are your body's way of telling you that the strategy needs to change. Throwing more squats at a body that has forgotten how to use its glutes evenly is like pouring more water into a cup with a hole in the bottom. You must first repair the cup. Embrace the simplicity of this approach. There is profound strength in gentle, focused, consistent work. This is not a quick fix. It is a re-education. It requires patience. You are rewiring a system that has been developing patterns for 50, 60, 70 years or more. Celebrate the small signals, the faint contraction you finally feel on the weaker side, the extra inch of height you achieve in a single leg bridge, the new awareness of your hips when you walk. These are the victories. This is the path to sustainable strength and fearless movement. It begins not with a barbell, but with a breath, not with strain, but with focus. Your body is waiting to reconnect. Start the conversation today.